What if the oldest question humanity has ever asked, where does consciousness come from, has been staring us in the face the entire time, written in light? Welcome, conscious colleagues, to the Philosophy of Power, a movement dedicated to understanding the power of consciousness and the secrets of reality. Over the next 5 parts, we're going to explore a speculative theory at the intersection of quantum physics, neuroscience, and spirituality. Not dogma, not settled science, something more honest than both. A genuine attempt to ask the deepest question there is and follow it wherever it leads. We won't have all the answers. Nobody ever does. But we have a framework. And like all great frameworks, it starts somewhere unexpected. We start at the beginning, not with a brain, not with a soul, not with God or genes or philosophy. We start with light, because everything does. We owe everything to it. Without it, there are no days, no warmth, no color, no life, just the eternal darkness that fills most of the universe. Cold, empty, silent. But we don't live in the dark. We live bathed in light. And most of us have never stopped to ask what that actually means. What is light, really? Not what it does, not what it looks like. What is it? That question turns out to be one of the strangest and most profound in all of physics. And the answer, if you follow far enough, starts to say something remarkable, not just about the universe, but about us. Let's start with what science tells us. Light is made out of photons. A photon is an elementary particle, the smallest possible unit of the electromagnetic energy. It has no mass, it cannot be broken down. And unlike ordinary matter, photons can be created and destroyed, born when an atom releases energy, annihilated when that energy is absorbed. What remains constant isn't the photon itself, but the energy it was carrying, transformed into something new. It is, in the most literal sense, a packet of pure energy in transit. When we talk about visible light, the kind our eyes detect, we're talking about a tiny slice of something much larger, called the electromagnetic spectrum. That spectrum includes radio waves, microwaves, infrared, ultraviolet, X rays, and gamma rays. All of it is the same fundamental phenomenon, energy manifesting as oscillating electrical and magnetic fields moving through space. What makes each type different is wavelength and frequency. Wavelength is the distance between consecutive peaks of the wave, like the space between ripples on water. Frequency is how many of those wave cycles pass a given point per second. These two properties determine everything: how much energy the light carries, how it interacts with matter, what it can penetrate, what it reflects. Radio waves pass through walls. X rays pass through flesh, but not bone. Visible light reflects off surfaces and hits our eyes. Infrared reveals heat. All of it, the same force, different frequencies. Light is not one thing, it is a spectrum of possibilities. Now, here's where it gets strange. In a previous episode, we discussed the double slit experiment, how firing electrons at a barrier with two slits produces an interference pattern, as if each electron passes through both slits simultaneously as a wave, and how the moment you measure it, which slit it passes through, that wave collapses into a single definite path. But what most people don't know is that the experiment wasn't originally performed with electrons. It was performed with light. Thomas Young first demonstrated it in 1801, over a century before quantum mechanics existed as a field. He shone light through two narrow slits and watched it create a pattern of alternating bright and dark bands on the wall. The implication was clear. Light was behaving as a wave, interfering with itself. The problem was that by then science had already established that light was made out of particles, photons. So, which one was it? A wave or a particle? The answer, as we know, is both and neither, depending entirely on how you measure it. Before observation, a photon exists in superposition, spread across all possible paths simultaneously. The moment it's measured, it becomes definite. One location, one path, one reality. The act of measurement itself collapses the wave into a single outcome. What's remarkable is that this isn't unique to light or electrons. Since Young's original experiment, we've confirmed wave-particle duality in atoms, molecules, and increasingly large physical objects. It appears to be a feature of reality itself, not a quirk of any particular particle. Light is a shapeshifter. It becomes what you measure it to be. This isn't a limitation of our instruments. It is a fundamental property of reality at its deepest level. The universe, at its foundation, is probabilistic, not fixed. Things do not have definite states until something interacts with them. Light revealed this first. Over 200 years ago, a beam of light passing through two slits quietly dismantled the deterministic worldview and showed us something stranger and more beautiful underneath. Beyond physics, there is something even more fundamental about what light does. Light is the universe's messenger. It travels at approximately 300,000 kilometers per second, the absolute speed limit of reality. Nothing with mass can reach it. Nothing moves faster. When light leaves a star a billion light years away, the information it carries has been traveling for billions of years to reach your eyes. When you look at the night sky, you're not seeing the universe as it is. You're seeing it as it was. A living archive of cosmic history written in light. Every photon carries an energy signature. It tells you the temperature of what it created, the chemical composition of the atoms that emitted it, whether it passed through a gravitational field, whether the source was moving toward you or away. Light doesn't just illuminate, it encodes. This is why almost everything we know about the universe comes from the studying of light. The expansion of the universe, discovered through light, the composition of distant stars, decoded through light, the existence of black holes, the age of galaxies, the fingerprints of elements forged in stellar explosions. All of it read from the light that reached us. Our entire scientific understanding of the cosmos is, in a very real sense, a translation of light. Our ancestors understood this intuitively. Even without the science, they gaze at the night sky for solace. They use stars to navigate oceans and track seasons. They built entire systems of meaning around the movement of light. Ancient civilizations orientated their greatest monuments to align with the sun at solstice and equinoxes. A temple, a pyramid, a stone circle, all orientated toward the light. They didn't know the physics, but they felt the truth. Light is not just illumination, light is knowledge. But light isn't just how we understand the universe, it's why we're here at all. Without the sun's light, Earth would be a frozen rock. Every plant, every tree, every green living thing exists because of photosynthesis, the process of converting sunlight into stored energy, light into life. That energy moves up through every food chain on the planet. The meal you ate today, at its origin, captured sunlight. Light governs our body directly. UVB radiation from the sun triggers vitamin D synthesis in the skin, essential for bone health, immune function, and more. Our circadian rhythm, the internal clock that tells us when to sleep, when to wake, when to be alert, is synchronized to the oscillating pattern of light and dark, day and night. Aren't just external conditions, they're instructions that our biology has learned to read. Even beyond what we can see, invisible light shapes us, infrared carries heat, ultraviolet drives biological processes, the electromagnetic spectrum pulses through and around us constantly, and our bodies have evolved to be sensitive to it, responsive to it, dependent on it. Think about that. Evolution across billions of years kept selecting for organisms that could detect and respond to light. Eyes emerged independently dozens of times in different branches of life, in vertebrates, in insects, in mollusks, in worms. That drive to perceive light is so fundamental that life kept reinventing the ability to do it. Light didn't just make life possible, it shaped what life became. So here's where we arrive after all of that. Light is massless energy moving at the universe's speed limit, carrying information across cosmic distances, powering every living thing on Earth, and revealing through its strange quantum behavior that reality at its deepest level is not fixed, but probabilistic, not determined, but open. It travels as a wave, spread across all possibilities until it interacts with something, and in that interaction it becomes definite. Almost every spiritual tradition in human history has placed light at the center of meaning. Light as the divine, light as truth, light as the source of all life. Most of us assume this is a metaphor, poetic language for things we didn't understand. But what if the intuition was pointing somewhere real? What if light isn't just how we see the world, but something closer to the fabric of consciousness itself? That question is where this series goes next. But first, you had to understand what light actually is. And now you do. Light is the oldest thing you've ever seen. Every photon that hits your eye has been traveling since it was born. From a star, from a lamp, from the sun 93 million miles away, arriving at the exact moment your eye was there to receive it. You are not separate from that process. You are part of it. We are beings of light in a universe made visible by light, and that is only the beginning. Thank you, conscious colleagues. Join us for the next episode as we tie in how consciousness is related to light. This speculative theory, finding out the origins of what consciousness truly is. See you in the next episode.